Right then, Celtic family, hold tight because we've got a juicy one brewing. You might want to sit down for this. The transfer window might not be officially wide open yet, but behind the scenes there's already smoke, and where there's smoke, you know there's fire. Now remember the name Matt O'Reilly, a name that still echoes through the stands at Parkhead. The lad left a mark in the hoops that not many forget, and even after his move south to Brighton, he's never really left the hearts of the green and white army. But it looks like things down in England aren't quite as rosy as they seemed. O'Reilly made that big money move to Brighton just last summer. We're talking a hefty £30 million, serious investment. And there was excitement, no doubt. It was meant to be the next big step for the Denmark international, who had grown leaps and bounds wearing the Celtic shirt. At Brighton, though, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. You can see the quality when he's on the ball, but here's the thing: he hasn't exactly been played where he feels at home, and he's not kept quiet about it either. Recently, the lad came out and said it himself. He feels like a number 8, someone who should be driving the game from box to box, getting involved in every phase of play. But instead, he's been shuffled about the pitch as a winger, a false 9, even other roles that clearly aren't bringing the best out of him. And for a player with his engine intelligence and eye for a pass, it's a bit of a waste, isn't it? He was respectful, of course. Made it clear he wasn't throwing anyone under the bus, but at the same time he didn't hold back on how he truly feels, and that kind of honesty, especially in today's game, says a lot about his character. Now here's where it gets even spicier. Word from Italy is that as Roma have joined the chase. Yes, Roma. And guess who's just taken the reins over there? Gianpiero Gasperini, a manager who knows O'Reilly well, or at least knows his potential. Back when Gasperini was at Atalanta, they were already eyeing up O'Reilly, so this isn't a new crush. It's more like unfinished business. Reports suggest that Gasperini sees him exactly how O'Reilly sees himself, as that dynamic number 8 who can push forward, dig deep, and connect play all over the park. If you think about it, it's actually the perfect fit stylistically. And let's be honest, when a manager backs you like that, really sees your best qualities and wants to build around them, that kind of belief can make all the difference in a player's decision, especially when he's just spent a season feeling a bit like a square peg in a round hole. Sure, Brighton's a competitive side, and the Premier League is no joke. But for a player in his mid-20s, these next steps are crucial. It's about playing the right role at the right club under the right manager. And maybe, just maybe, Roma ticks all those boxes. It's not just Roma either. O'Reilly has been on radars across Europe for a while now. Before he even signed for Brighton, names like Atletico Madrid and Atalanta were sniffing around, and that kind of interest doesn't just vanish overnight. It shows the level he's operating at. When a player gets consistent attention from clubs playing Champions League football, it's because they're offering something special, and Celtic fans knew that from the start. From the way he controlled the midfield to the goals he chipped in and the way he handled the big stage, there was never a doubt he was destined for more. But now it's about timing. Brighton might not want to let him go so easily, considering how much they forked out, but player power matters in today's game. And when someone like O'Reilly goes public with his thoughts on positioning and performance, it sends a message. He's ready to step into a system that suits him better, a place where he can thrive and maybe even grow into a leading role. And let's not forget his ambitions with the Danish national team. He's already spoken about improving his defensive intensity and becoming more aggressive in duels, things his manager asked of him, and he's taken that feedback seriously. That kind of development doesn't go unnoticed, especially by international selectors. What's even more impressive is how maturely he handled the entire situation. He wasn't ranting or throwing shade, just speaking truth with calm and clarity. He even mentioned how honesty doesn't mean disrespect. If anything, it opens dialogue. And in professional football, communication with your manager can be the key between stagnating or soaring. O'Reilly sounds like a player who's not just thinking about today, but about the full picture, about his trajectory over the next 5-6 years. Where does he want to be? What kind of football does he want to play? Who's going to help him get there? Back at Celtic, fans always had a soft spot for O'Reilly. He was the kind of player that brought class to the midfield, someone who didn't just do the basics, but offered creativity, vision, and work rate in equal measure. You could see the intelligence in how he moved, how he passed, how he pressed. That kind of talent doesn't fade even if it's not being used properly. And if Roma are serious, if Gasperini is ready to make that call, it could be a turning point in the lad's career. And you can bet that Celtic fans will be watching closely. Not just because he wore the hoops with pride, but because it always stings a bit when a former player starts to shine elsewhere, especially if he didn't quite get the platform he deserved after leaving Parkhead, but at the same time there's a sense of pride in seeing one of our own proving his worth on a bigger stage. Whether it's in Serie A, the Premier League, or on international duty with Denmark, O'Reilly's story isn't done. Not by a long shot, and as this transfer saga unfolds, the question isn't just where he'll end up. It's whether the next manager he plays under will finally unlock the full version of Matt O'Reilly. Because make no mistake, that version still has a lot to say in European football. Right, let's dive deeper into what this potential move could mean, not just for Matt O'Reilly, but for all the teams involved, and of course for us, who've been following his journey from the stands at Parkhead. It's a story that's got plenty of twists, and the way it unfolds could shift a few things on the football map. First up, Roma's interest isn't just about adding another player to their squad. It's about fitting the pieces in a puzzle that manager Gianpiero Gasperini is trying to complete. Gasperini's known for his intense, energetic style of play, demanding a lot from his midfielders. The number 8 role he sees for O'Reilly is central to that. It's a position that requires stamina, vision, and an ability to connect defense and attack seamlessly. It's not just about grinding out tackles, but also about orchestrating play, driving forward, and unlocking defenses. For a player like O'Reilly, whose qualities lie in those exact areas, it could be a perfect marriage. That said, stepping into Serie A from the Premier League is no small feat. The Italian league has its own rhythm and style, one that's tactically demanding and often unforgiving. Roma themselves are a club with high expectations, chasing European success and looking to rebuild after recent managerial changes. Gasperini's arrival signals a fresh approach, and if he believes O'Reilly fits his system, he's likely ready to give him the tools and freedom to flourish. It's a big ask, but one that could see O'Reilly evolve into a much more complete player. Now, let's not forget Brighton's role in all this. The Seagulls invested heavily to secure O'Reilly's signature, clearly seeing him as a valuable asset for the future. They've given him opportunities, but the mismatch in positioning has hindered his ability to really showcase his talents week in, week out. From their perspective, they're weighing up whether to hold onto a player who's publicly expressed some frustrations or to cash in while his value remains high. It's a delicate balance. Offloading him too soon might look like a loss, but if O'Reilly isn't happy, that can impact the dressing room vibe and his own performances. Selling him to a club like Roma, especially under a manager who truly wants him, could be seen as a win-win. From a broader footballing perspective, O'Reilly's situation highlights the challenges many young talents face when moving big clubs and leagues. Talent alone isn't always enough. The environment, the tactics, the trust of the manager, and the role given can all make or break a player's trajectory. O'Reilly's honesty about his preferred position shows maturity and a clear understanding of what he needs to thrive. It's a refreshing contrast to the usual PR gloss that often covers up such frustrations. For the fans back home in Glasgow, it's a bittersweet moment. O'Reilly was one of those players who brought a spark to the midfield, mixing technical skill with hard graft. He wasn't just a passer of the ball, he was a player who made things happen, who could turn defense into attack in the blink of an eye. Watching him leave was tough, but seeing him struggle for minutes and the right role is even tougher. Yet the possibility of him finding a home where he can flourish again offers hope. It reminds supporters that sometimes a change of scenery is what's needed for a player to hit their peak. Internationally, O'Reilly's development is crucial for Denmark too. The national team has some exciting talents coming through, but experience in different leagues and systems can be invaluable. If he can adapt and grow under Gasperini, gaining the tactical discipline Serie A demands, it might just push him into a more prominent role on the international stage. That's not just good for him, but for Danish football as a whole. Talking about his style, what stands out about O'Reilly is his box-to-box energy, combined with intelligence on the ball. He reads the game well, knows when to hold possession and when to release it quickly. His ability to press opponents high up the pitch and then transition into attack makes him a modern midfielder. The defensive improvements he's been working on show he's committed to evolving into a well-rounded player. In Gasperini's system, which prizes intense pressing and quick transitions, O'Reilly's profile fits like a glove. But football is never just about fit on paper. The mental side of things is just as important. Moving countries, adapting to a new culture, language, and style of football can be daunting. O'Reilly's calm and honest approach to his current frustrations suggests he's got the right mindset. He's clearly focused on growth and willing to face challenges head-on. That resilience will be vital in Serie A, where the pressure is high. And every game is a tactical battle. Let's also consider the ripple effect this move could have. If Roma do sign O'Reilly, it might open the door for other British or Scandinavian players to make similar moves. Serie A has been attracting a growing number of talents, looking for tactical discipline and a new challenge. Success stories like O'Reilly's could encourage more players to consider Italy as a stepping stone in their careers, rather than just England or other leagues. That could shake up the transfer market dynamics in interesting ways. Back to Celtic, there's always that sense of pride. When one of their former players is linked with a big club like Roma, it reinforces the club's reputation as a breeding ground for talent capable of making it on Europe's bigger stages. It's a reminder of the quality nurtured at Parkhead, and the importance of giving players the right platform to shine. For the fans, it's also a moment to reflect on how the club supports its players, and what lessons can be learned to help the next generation flourish even more. As this story develops, one thing is clear: Matt O'Reilly's journey is far from over. He's still carving out his path, searching for the perfect fit, where he can express his full potential. The interest from Roma under Gasparini's watchful eye could be the spark that reignites his career, or at least sets him on a new exciting chapter. For now, all eyes will be on how this potential transfer unfolds, and how O'Reilly responds to the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. The football world loves a good story of redemption and revival, and O'Reilly's tale fits the bill perfectly. It's a reminder that even when things don't go as planned, there's always a chance to turn things around, with the right mindset, support, and opportunity. So keep watching closely, because this story is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in the coming transfer window. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Whispers are swirling around Glasgow's football scene as both Celtic and Rangers reportedly eye one of Germany's brightest young talents, 19-year-old Benedikt KUNTZ. The German prodigy, touted as a rising star with immense potential, is said to have captured the interest of the old firm rivals in what could become one of the most intriguing transfer sagas of the season. Sources close to the player suggest that KUNTZ, who has been making waves in Germany with his impressive skill set and maturity on the pitch, is leaning towards a move to Celtic, much to the dismay of Rangers fans hoping to secure the youngsters' signature. The Hoops, known for their shrewd recruitment of promising talents, appear to have the upper hand in this high-stakes tug-of-war. It's understood that the Germans' preference for Celtic comes down to the club's style of play and the opportunity to develop under a manager famed for nurturing young prospects. Rangers, on the other hand, are reportedly not ready to concede defeat just yet. The Ibrox side has a history of competing fiercely in the transfer market, and the chance to bring in a player of KUNTZ's caliber would no doubt excite their fan base. The club is believed to be weighing up a counter-offer, hoping to convince the teenager that the Light Blues represent the best platform for his career in Scottish football. The buzz around Benedikt KUNTZ is understandable given his potential to become a key player in European football. At only 19, the midfielder has shown glimpses of a mature, creative force, combining technical ability with a sharp footballing brain. Both Celtic and Rangers are aware that landing such a promising talent could have lasting implications, not just on the pitch, but also in the intense rivalry that defines Glasgow's football landscape. Industry insiders suggest that the final decision might come down to factors beyond just money and playing time. Cultural fit, language, and the player's personal ambitions could all play a part in where KUNTZ ultimately signs. Celtic's reported advantage in these softer aspects might tip the balance, but Rangers' determination and resources mean this saga is far from over. As the transfer window ticks down, fans from both camps will be keeping a close eye on developments. The possibility of Benedikt KUNTZ pulling on the green and white hoops or the blue of Rangers adds yet another thrilling subplot to an already heated rivalry. Whether this promising German jewel will shine at Celtic Park or Ibrox remains a tantalizing question for Scottish football supporters and pundits alike. Stay tuned, as this potential transfer could be one of the defining moments of the season. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.